Welcome to Friday Fam with Jim Browder, Executive Director, and Ellen Johnson, Senior Sales Manager at Crystal Coast Tourism Development Authority. I'm Dave Bodel with Leisure Group Travel. We are so excited to bring these new in-depth Friday Fams to you. They've been an important part of our virtual site inspection program and a great way for destinations to share their story with group travel planners. Today, we'll begin with an interview session between Jim and Jeff Gaeta. Jeff is Premier Travel Media's publisher. They'll be introducing the delightful communities along North Carolina's Crystal Coast. At the conclusion of the session, we'll go to a Q&A with Jim and Ellen. Now you can enter your questions in the chat room. So please make sure you're muted and your video's off. Jeff, let's get started.
Hi, everybody. Jeff Gaeta here, and happy to be with you today on our virtual site inspection of Crystal Coast, North Carolina. With me today is Jim Browder, Executive Director of the Crystal Coast Tourism Development Organization. Jim, how are you doing today?
Doing very good. Well, thank you.
Great, great. Well, I'm especially excited about today's session because Crystal Coast is a place I've not been to before. So many of these that I've done, I've been to, which it's great to relive that since we're not traveling as much as we'd like to. But the fact that I've not been to your area before, I think is going to be extra special of just learning what you have on the ground there, what's in store for groups in early 2021. And with that, I'd love to just go ahead and start kicking this off.
Oh, absolutely.
Great. So I think, first and foremost here, as we start this process is, let's talk a little bit about where you guys are located.
Well, it's North Carolina, we're commonly referred to as North Carolina's Southern Outer Banks. That's usually a good geographic locator because most people do know where the Outer Banks are. But we're in the southern portion and we're 85 miles of a picturesque coastline that is made up of an assortment of very small communities from Morehead City to Beaufort, Atlantic Beach, and more. The area offers a real distinct array of accommodations, more than 36 hotels, motels, inns, and we have well over 5,000 vacation rental cottages, condominiums, and villas. It's also a really unique Mecca for small town Main Street shopping. It features an abundance of specialty shops, including art galleries, clothing boutiques, and many of the communities. So it's a beautiful location, easy to get to, and we look forward to having everybody visit us.
Absolutely. So I put up on the screen here, location here, distances from Charlotte, Charleston, DC, Richmond. Where are you seeing a lot of travelers coming through? I'd say pre-COVID as well as post-COVID. Where do many of your visitors come from?
Well, we're primarily a drive community or a drive destination. The bulk of our people actually come from our home state of North Carolina, but we welcome visitors from DC to the north, Atlanta, as far west out into Kentucky and West Virginia. So anything within a 500 to 700 mile radius of here, we tend to get a lot of people who drive in.
Okay. So I know from what I've read and videos that I've watched and images that I've seen that this area is made up of a number of different communities. So what I'd like to do is kind of walk through some of the different communities that you guys have in the area, and maybe you can talk about what the local vibe is, why people tend to gravitate towards that area, some of the local attractions and dining scene as well.
Great.
Perfect. So let's start with Harkers Island.
Yeah, Harkers Island is a very special location to us. It's a very peaceful community located 30 miles from Emerald Isle and has an abundance of attractions. One of the most popular draws is the Cape Lookout Visitor Center. It's one of two ferry gateways to Shackleford Banks and Cape Lookout National Seashore. Out there, you can take the ferry boat and see wild horses. You can go shelling, fishing, climb the lighthouse and go kayaking. On Harkers Island itself, it actually offers the Core Sound Waterfowl Museum and Heritage Center, and it's a location where you'll find artistry, wooden decoys, carving, waterfowl art, music, storytelling, boat building heritage, and more.
Nice. Okay, looks very beautiful.
It's an absolutely gorgeous location.
Okay, let's talk for a minute as well about Beaufort. I've heard of that before. It sounds like a really charming community.
Yeah, Beaufort was actually named by Travel and Leisure as America's favorite small town. It's home of a variety of charming boutiques. It has a downtown marina and a 2-acre historic site featuring 6 authentically restored buildings from the 1700s. It's one of North Carolina's oldest towns. The historic site features 150 homes that are restored throughout the community, and it's got a beautiful double-decker red bus that you can ideally just ride around town and see all these beautiful homes.
Nice. Is that like a trolley type service, hop on, hop off?
It is. It's very similar. Yeah, it's very similar to what you see in a much larger town, but in this particular case, you could almost walk from house to house. It's a very compact area. It's very easy to get around. People go by bicycle, golf cart, or by the bus. It's a great tour for the day.
Nice, nice. Okay, so let's move along through here. Pine Knoll Shores and Bogue Sound. What's the vibe in that area?
Pine Knoll Shores is home to the North Carolina Aquarium in Pine Knoll Shores. It's one of 3 aquariums that are run by the state, and the aquarium offers a variety of learning opportunities for groups. Students can come and explore the aquarium on a teacher-led tours. They can participate in live animal programs in the Big Rock Theater. There's research exhibits and species with interactive scavenger hunts, and they can become a scientist through hands-on classroom activities.
Nice.
Or outdoor field experiences.
And then what about Bogue Sound?
Bogue Sound is one of the islands in the area. It stretches for 25 miles along the Crystal Coast, and it's a great destination for mariners, fishermen, water sports fans, those who savor fantastic sunsets. A number of marinas and public docks are located on its edges. Excuse me. When groups aren't enjoying the Bogue Sound's outdoor attractions, they can visit the Bogue Sound Distillery. It offers premium quality gluten-free vodka, white whiskey, single malt whiskey, and gin. A large distillery. It houses a museum showing how stills and spirits were made in the late 1700s and early 1800s. It has a restored 1923 Ford Model T pickup, complete with whiskey barrels. It's on display with a 1900 grist mill and some of the local family history. Guests can tour the distillery and watch the Bogue Sound's 500-gallon still in operation. And they also have a 27-gallon test still that actively engages at the liquor production process as well. It's a great little tour.
Cool. Yeah. I've seen really all across the country how distillery tours are becoming more popular. Are there other local, breweries, wine shops available throughout the Crystal Coast?
We have a number of breweries. Crystal Coast Brewery. We have breweries we have Whistle Stop. We have. I'm sorry, I'm going to remember the names of them off the top of my head.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So you've got a number of different breweries out in the area.
Yeah, we have 5 different breweries in the area.
Good. Okay. And then the distillery, that is the only one that's the Bogue Sound Distillery. That's the sole one that's on the Crystal Coast.
Yes, sir.
Nice. Okay. So good. So I wanted to hop over to Atlantic Beach and Salter Path, I believe it's called.
Yes. Atlantic Beach is on the east side of the island. I should point out that because of geographic location, our beaches actually run east to west. It's a little different than most of them running north to south on the Atlantic coast. But Atlantic Beach is situated on the barrier island, that Bogue Sound Island that we referred to earlier. And it's known for its just abundance of pristine beaches through there. One of the most popular hotspots is Memories Beach Club. It's the only shag club on the Crystal Coast. The Carolina Shag is a partner dance done primarily to beach music, and it's a popular regional dance. And Memories is the best place to really go out there and shake your hips and have a great beverage.
Do we catch you there on Tuesday nights then?
Not too often. I'm not much of a dancer, but I like to go watch.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
But yeah, kites are really fun activity for groups seeking, to enjoy the gentle ocean breeze. We have a breeze year round around here, so it takes that summer sun and makes it very, very comfortable around here. You can visit Kites Unlimited and Bird Stuff, where you can get a variety of kites, and they are glad to help teach you and spend some time with you. They've been there for more than 30 years. They have top quality wind related products. In addition to kites, they have wind socks, flags, bird seed, bird feeders, baths, puzzles, and games for basically all ages. And,
Nice.
And also located over in Bogue Banks near Atlantic Beach is the Fort Macon State Park. It's our most popular attraction, and has 1.5 miles of ocean beach for hiking. It features more than 320 species birds, and groups can experience the thrill of watching dolphins that swim in the ocean from the beach trails. It's got great exhibits throughout the fort, and beautiful theater so that you can see the history of the fort itself.
Okay. Now, what I've seen in a lot of destinations, Jim, is there's a lot of development along the beaches, high-rise condos, big resort type hotels. Is that prevalent in the Atlantic Beach area?
Not at all. We actually have very few high rises along the entire Bogue Sound, and it's largely vacation rentals. Some of the homes might get up to maybe 30, 40 feet off the ground, but at the end of the day, in terms of total height, but there's very few high rises. And in fact, that's one thing we talk about at our beaches, because the sun runs east to west and we have no high rises blocking the sun. You can enjoy the beaches all day long and into the evening.
Nice. Well, that's got to also help with the tourist density as well. Now, obviously, we're in the tourism business, so we want tourists coming through. But, if you don't have a 20-story condominium or hotel, that's just, all the less people that are going to be occupying that beach chair next to you.
Absolutely. And it's one of the reasons we've been a popular destination during the pandemic. It's been a great place for people to spend and rejuvenate and spend time with their families. And also be socially distanced. They can work remotely, they can go to school remotely, and they've been able to enjoy the beach while they've been able to work at the same time.
Nice. I like that a lot. So we talked a little bit about Atlantic Beach. Tell me about Salter Path. What do groups find when they go there?
It's a cute little town, one of the oldest areas on Bogue Sound. It's located right in the middle of the sound, at the narrowest part of the island, and it offers really very easy access to the beach and the sound for recreational activities. It's got a great little attraction called Professor Hacker's Lost Treasure Golf and Raceway. Features 2 18-hole mini golf courses, a mining train that'll take you to the holes, and it's got go-karts, bumper cars, an arcade, and it's got kiddie rides.
Okay.
Great spot on the island.
It seems like a real family-friendly location.
Yes, it absolutely is.
Okay. So, one destination, at least I'm familiar with from a remembrance standpoint, is Morehead City. And I think when I did the distances at the beginning of this presentation, I pulled them from Morehead City. What can you tell people about that area?
Morehead City is actually our largest community. And to put in perspective, when I say large, of the 11 communities on the Crystal Coast, it has just over 9,000 residents. So it's a very quaint area, even though it's considered our largest location. It offers boutique shops. It's got great eateries and live entertainment. It's also home to many large events throughout the year, including the Big Rock Blue Marlin Tournament, which is one of the top 5 richest tournaments in the world. And in fact, last year we were very fortunate. Michael Jordan participated. And it brought had a beautiful boat that he brought in and competed in the event.
Nice.
It's also home to the North Carolina Seafood Festival, which is one of the largest festivals in the entire state of North Carolina. Over 200,000 people come to that event. It's been here for many, many years. And those people who are really seeking deep sea fishing, sport fishing, or private cruises can rent out the Carolina Princess. Charter the Carolina Princess for a day and go out on the open seas, reeling in big catch, soaking up the sun, just relaxing with the sea wind in your face. Or you can even set sail on 3 hours on sunset cruises. So it's a great place, especially to get access to the many, many waterways around the area.
Nice. And I would imagine that's just one of many boats that you can charter out for small groups, medium-sized groups, large groups.
Absolutely. There's marinas are everywhere. We like to say water everywhere because we're more water than we are land.
Very cool. So, can you talk a little bit about dining options on the Crystal Coast? I would imagine lots of fresh seafoods available.
We have over 64 seafood restaurants here.
Geez.
For a county that only has 79,000 people in it, we have 110 independent restaurants. People are very, very proud of our small businesses around here, and the locals support them on a year-round basis. And they have fabulous food, and many of them have been open for decades. And so people come here year after year and tend to go to the same restaurant with their families and grandchildren. It's become a great experience. So
yeah, that's awesome.
We're so close to the Gulf Stream that we have some of the freshest seafood on the East Coast.
You can probably catch it that day, eat it that night.
That's correct.
Well, I'd love to see destinations that have a preponderance of local restaurants versus the chains. So, the fact that you've got that sort of history there and there's such local pride means there's got to be lots of good eats available for groups coming on through. Another thing I wanted to talk about is, let's seasonality of the destination. I know 2020, very popular year round. What are the sort of patterns that you guys see, best time to visit, busiest time of year? Groups usually like to work around the edges a little bit. So, maybe talk about where there might be some opportunities.
Well, it is a year-round destination. Very few of our shops and restaurants close down in the winter months. Obviously, summer is peak because of the beach and people wanting to spend time on the beach. But our spring and fall seasons are extremely robust. We have over 800 events here a year, and almost all of them are scheduled in the spring, fall, and into the winter months. We have very few events actually in the summer. It's so busy around here. But we have big events like the Beaufort Wine and Food Festival. Almost every community has a major music festival. We have everything from triathlons, fishing tournaments. It's just amazing what goes on in this town on a year-round basis. And the holidays themselves are very, very fun. Each community has their own parades. They dress their businesses up and their homes up. It's just a beautiful place to be during the holidays. So there's really no bad time to come here.
Okay. Well, and I would imagine as 21 gets underway and we start to return to a level of normalcy and getting closer to each other, those events will be listed on your website.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, we just launched a new website this week. It's in its 30-day prototype phase. It does an excellent job of, especially from a visual standpoint, showing you what is here for you to enjoy when you come and visit.
Gotcha. Well, we'll definitely want to check out the website. That's crystalcoast.org.
It's Crystal Coast NC, like NC.org.
Gotcha. Okay, good. And then if groups were interested in getting more information about bringing their pack to the Crystal Coast, I would imagine they could reach out to you. Anybody else in the office that they should
reach out to me directly. They can contact Ellen Johnson. She's our senior sales manager, and I should be more than happy to assist in any way we can.
Awesome. Okay, and we'll go ahead and put that contact information on the screen as well. Well, Jim, this seems like the ideal destination for groups in 2021. Good chance to get outdoors, enjoy nature, fresh seafood, good company, smaller hotels. So you guys are definitely onto something over there.
Well, I know I enjoy being here, and we'd love to see each and every one of you come visit as well.
Awesome. Well, good. Let's go ahead and see if we have any questions of the audience. Jim, let's hold on here.
Great. As we wait for folks to enter into the chat room, I do have a couple questions. I've actually been up to the Crystal Coast and I absolutely adore that area. But one of the things I wanted to ask about, that North Carolina Seafood Festival, that is on my bucket list. Could you tell me, do you have a date set for 2021? Or should I just get on the website?
They haven't set the official dates, but it's almost always the first weekend in October.
Okay. So hopefully we'll be out of some of the COVID restrictions and I can get up there and check that off my bucket list. One other quick question I had before we get into the chat room. There, across the street from the North Carolina Maritime Museum, the Harvey Smith Watercraft Center. That's another thing that I just find fascinating, that you can go there and build a boat. For a group coming in to do that, how many days should they allot to be in Beaufort at that center? Is that a 3-day project or 2-day?
Typically, when the groups come in, they actually will split up because you do have people who go in and build boats. They actually have a class where you can build a stand-up paddle board as well, a wooden one, and it's really neat how they do that. But the groups will split up because a lot of them will take the historical tours.
Right.
Some of them will take the ferry boats out to Cape Lookout, and some of them will go to the Watercraft Center and the museum, because there's a lot of Blackbeard relics in the museum. Blackbeard's ship was actually found right here in Beaufort Inlet. So
cool. I've got a couple things coming into the chat room. Let me just take a look and see what we have. Let's see. Oh, this is a great question. Do they still take buses on the ferry from Cedar Island over to Morehead? Can a full coach get on there?
full coach, well, they may be referring to the ferry that goes from Ocracoke to Cedar Island.
Over to Morehead.
And yes, that does take full buses.
Okay, super. What is, this is a question, I'm not quite sure I understand it, but what is the name of that location where you can build SUP? Are we talking about the Watercraft Center there?
Yes, it's the same place. It's SUP is a stand-up paddle board.
Oh, okay.
And you can build it at the Harvey Smith Water Center.
Yes,
That's right across from the North Carolina Maritime Museum.
yes.
The other question, this is always one on the tour operator's mind, are there hotel motel accommodations available? And if so, which one are your communities?
In Atlantic Beach, Morehead City, and Beaufort have the majority of the hotels and motels. Our largest hotel is actually only 200 rooms. And then under that, I think it's 133 rooms, and we have several that are right at 100 rooms. We have DoubleTree, two Hampton Inns, a Quality Inn, the Beaufort Hotel, which is an absolutely gorgeous hotel that just opened last year.
Nice.
Right on Taylor's Creek. So yeah, we have quite a few hotels that will accommodate the tour groups.
Okay. You still have a ferry over to Cape Lookout from Harkers Island? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, it's a national park. It's a national park concessionaire. So there's only one ferry service that can actually take you over and let you off on the island. But we do have several ferries that'll take you out and just out for a ride so that you can go around. It's called Shackleford Banks, is one of the islands just off the coast of Beaufort. And you can go out there. We have on Shackleford Banks, we have over 125 wild Spanish stallions out there, or horses. Their DNA goes back 400 years that live on the islands. And then Carrot Island, directly across from Beaufort, across Taylor's Creek, has about 25 wild horses over there. So a lot of people take ferry boats in and around the islands.
Oh, that's cool. And to get to the island itself, you have 2 points of departure, Harkers, and I can't remember the other one, but.
Yeah, well, you can leave for Cape Lookout. You can leave from Harkers Island, which is where the National Park Service has their offices and their museum. And you can also leave from Beaufort during the summer months. There's other ferry services that actually leave out of Morehead City, where you can go to Sand Dollar Island with groups and go look for sand dollars and things of that nature too. And that's most of the dive shops, and those ferries are over in Morehead City.
And that ferry is called the Island Express Ferry Service?
Yes, sir.
Cool.
A long time ago, you used to be able to take the ferry. We used to be able to take the bus all the way from Morehead City all the way up to Corolla. I'm not sure that's what our pronunciation. Can you still do that? Will they still let the bus go all the way through there on the different islands?
Yes, the bus would go from, let's say, Morehead City through Beaufort and up to Cedar Island, and that's where
There he is.
the ferry is to take you over to Ocracoke. Then from Ocracoke, you have to take another ferry over to Hatteras before the bus can continue to drive. Now you can drive around to Manteo up on the Outer Banks. It's about a 3.5-hour drive to drive around. The ferry boat ride from Cedar Point or Cedar Island over to Ocracoke is about 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Well, I know they used to have, I used to run this about 10 years ago. Do they still have a lot of the lighthouses you can go into?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Ellen, you've got a request in the chat room for your tour planner. So if you could get that out of there and make sure it gets to the operator, that would be great. And I'm not seeing any more additional questions. So this is, of course, our last Friday Fam in January, but we'll continue with our Friday Fams in February. First up will be Ocean City, Maryland. So keep an eye on your inbox for your announcement for the specific date. On behalf of all the folks at North Carolina's Crystal Coast Tourism Development Authority, as well as those of us with Leisure Group Travel, we are so pleased that you are here. We definitely appreciate your time, and thanks to Jim for his dedication to this program, and thanks to all of you who have joined us. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you all.